I just finished getting out of work and I have decided that I'm gonna go and pick up the lumber for those beams. And I was gonna go home to check the size and everything, but when I called the lumber place, which is a couple of blocks from my house, they said they only have it in 10 feet and it's pressure treated. And I needed, for the house I needed 12 by 2 by 8, but all they had is 12 by 2 by 10 and it's pressure treated. So what I'm gonna do is just walk over and take it home like that, because as you guys might have seen in one of my old videos, I don't even have a car to carry 2 by 4 by 8. So there's no way I'm gonna be able to carry this. So instead of going home and measuring and confirming everything, I just decided I'm gonna go straight over there, purchase it, and carry it all the way to my house, which is about like 8 to 10 blocks. Brooklyn, New York. Finally home. That was the most intense physical thing that I've done in a very long time. But it's here, and now we can start cutting up this wood to put it where it belongs for the rest of its life. So it's the next day, and I have to take out the 2x4, so I don't think it's held by any screws, or I don't know what it's held by, but I think I just could pull this off. And I think that there's gonna be a gaping hole in this area. So what I'm gonna be doing is, well, what my plan is taking this off, vacuuming it all, and then cutting up the wood, because I have to cut around this pipe. So I'm gonna be cutting up the 2x12, then installing it in place. And where I can use lag bolts, I'm gonna use lag bolts. Where I can't use lag bolts, or maybe actually throughout, I'm gonna be using PL. So it could be glued on. So where I can't use screws, at least it's glued on. Those screws and the lag bolts with the PL should be more than enough to reinforce this area. But this is gonna be the first time I actually see the condition of this beam now that I am removing this 2x4. So let's see. That's nasty stuff, man. That's really nasty stuff. But as you can see, it's pretty bad. But I'll vacuum it, put some glue on it, and look at that. And let's see what happens. All right, well, there's that gaping hole there, and the 2x4 is out. And here we have the 2x12 that's going to replace it. What we're going to be doing is I am going to be, let me show you here. I am going to be cutting a slot like this with like a hook, because I want to be able to push the 2x12 up and in So I need to do some kind of keyway like I just showed you there. So let me just take some measurements off the bottom of the pipe to the bottom of the 2x12, and well, you guys are gonna understand what I'm doing as soon as I start doing it. Let me take this moment to show you what exactly I'm doing here. So you guys just finished seeing me cut this keyway for the pipe that is up there. What I'm gonna be doing is sliding this up and over so the pipe could go through like that. I also had to cut this off because there is some concrete in that back corner over there. Not concrete, but mortar. And made this piece so it could fit in here, so that when I put this in there, I could cut the pipe here and just hammer this in to give it more support. Obviously, this is not structural. That won't be supporting a whole building, obviously, because there's a lot of weakness there, but this is what I have and this is what I'm gonna do. This is, I guess I'm jerry-rigging it, I think it's called. I'm just making things work. I got a lot of PL. I got 6 tubes of this, so I could glue this beam to the old beam. I also got this. This is what you put over the caulk. And when you start using it, you could put it flat like so, instead of having a bead and then you have to smush it and whatever. But I'm gonna be using this to squeeze up there and on the back of this panel. I need to get a pair of gloves because this stuff is pretty terrible on the hands. You know I'm gonna be using my automatic caulk gun. That's a must-have in everyone's arsenal. For jobs like this is perfect. So let me get a pair of gloves. I'm gonna set up the camera at a good distance because this thing is almost 8 feet. and swinging it around. I don't want to hit the camera by accident. As soon as I have it up there and secured, I'll bring the camera closer so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. But either way, I'm going to be explaining what I'm doing once I'm done. So let's start putting this beam in. That's it. The beam is on. It's very difficult to get to the top and put some screws in there. If you guys remember the beginning of the video, I said I wanted to use lag bolts. I knew I couldn't use any lag bolts. It's too tight up there. Even with that right angle bit, it's difficult to get the right angle and the right pressure and everything, but it's in, and the glue's holding. I put one screw in and the glue held. So we just gotta let that glue cure and see. Now I'm gonna cut that that L-shaped piece, cut the circle for the pipe, and then hammer it in the best I can, because I don't even know if I could get a hammer in there. Maybe a crowbar to push it in, but I don't know. I'll figure something out. But I'm gonna get that in and see what I do. We finished, and now let me show you how it looks. So unfortunately, as you can see, all the screw holes, I pretty much could only get it from the bottom. And over here, look at that. That piece just slid in with no problems. And it's pretty stiff, look at that. Also, you can see over there, now you can see why I cut those corners. But yeah, it's looking good. I put some screws in here through the bottom to hold this piece in. I also drilled some holes straight up. But yeah, I drilled some screws in here. But this thing is in, and it's solid and holding. I'm really happy with how this came out, especially around the pipe. Look at that. And it only took one shot. I usually edit things so that it looks like I did it in one shot. This one was done in one shot. So that I'm gonna let you guys know that I did this in one shot. But there's other times that I make it look like I did it in one shot. Also, this thing right here, this worked perfectly. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. So if you ever have to spread, you know, like PL or anything that's in a caulk tube, this is the way to go, 100%. I recommend it. The only thing is that it costs like $11 and you can only use it once. That's maybe the only negative, but yeah. I also recommend the caulk gun. Have to have the caulk gun. If you're gonna be doing something especially like this, you need the caulk gun, the automatic caulk gun. So yeah, that's it. That's it for this video. We got a beam in. I'm really happy. I'm excited. I was pretty nervous, if you want me to be honest, because I didn't know how that was gonna come out. That beam was pretty rotted, but with the glue and the screws from the bottom at least, it's holding really well. So so that's it. Also, let me show you this. I brought this from work. This is a 7030 door frame, metal door frame. That's what I'm gonna be putting in this door right here. I'm gonna have to cut it up though, because that is a 6'8" door. That's a 7-foot door. So that's gonna have to be cut, but that's for later on in the future, because I have to do the floor in this area, and then I could do the frame and the door. So yeah, so I just wanted to update you on that. In the next video, we are going back upstairs. We're gonna be doing the Lutron Cressida. I don't know if I'm saying it right. In the last video I uploaded, I heard me say it. It's Cressida. I don't know how you pronounce it, but we're gonna be putting those switches in. So if you're interested, stay tuned for the next video, which is every Thursday at 5 p.m. If you learned something today, you can show me by giving me a like. If you have any comments or questions, leave it in the comments down below. I'll get to all the comments and questions. And hey, if you want to see the rest of this basement finish up, consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks.